YouTube, and welcome to episode 68 of Summer Shredding. Now, last night I had a freaking massive headache, so that's why the content was a bit shit last night, if I'm honest. But I've woken up and I've still got the same thing, so hopefully that will go with some caffeine. I've taken like a strong ibuprofen. Wow, I said that word right, usually I can't say that. But I've taken a strong one because my dad has some for his back. So hopefully that will kick in sometime in the gym. But anyway, hopefully some caffeine will sort that problem out. So what we're going to be working on today is shoulders. So I personally think shoulders need hypertrophy, however you want to say it, which is basically rep ranges from 12 and above. That's because our shoulders get hit a lot with things like back, arms, chest, basically everything else other than legs. So they're used to quite a heavy load because they're supporting you most of the time. So by chucking in a high rep range workout, it usually does it some good. So that's my plan for today, is lightweight, light-ish weight. I say lightweight, but light-ish weight. And going for between the 12 to 20 rep range. Now, whether I stick to that or not is a different matter, but that's the goal for now. So what I'm going to be talking about today is the necessities of cardio and what it can and like the pros and cons of it, basically. I had a massive discussion with the guys in the gym group chat yesterday about about cardio, and there's so many different fallacies that I want to clear up that I know that aren't true, but because they've heard it from a personal trainer, they believe it's true, which I also want to clear up now, that you can be a personal trainer and never have set foot in the gym before in your life. You can work all the way up to level 4 and not have set foot in a gym, because it's all theory based. They don't go, "Ooh, okay, you need to be able to bench 100 kilos before you pass this." So that's something that I just wanted to chuck out there, and something that I got warned on myself. Sorry, I'm walking into the gym. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be covering today. I'm going to get a shoulder workout in. I'll speak to you guys a little bit later.
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly.
So guys, I noticed that I'm having a lot wider grip on the front row, I can't remember what they're called. But I have them about shoulder width apart. Now the reason for that is when you bring them close, you'll notice your traps get engaged. You can be lifting more weight, yeah, but you've been working the traps. Keeping it shoulder width apart, you're literally focusing on your front and medial deltoid, on your shoulders, and make them grow quicker. Yes, won't look as cool because you can't move as much weight. Doesn't matter, you're going to get bigger shoulders, and that's going to look cool in the long run. So when doing it, make sure you bring the bar all the way up to your shoulder, bring it all the way down at shoulder width. Important, work with your elbows and your wrists. It's going to make you grow quicker, faster. Same thing, and knackered. Let's put some weight on it, let's get back on the bar.
'Cause I can fly,
So guys, I just finished my workout. Now I know you guys are probably thinking, what a bitch, why did you quit so early, blah blah blah. Because actually, to be fair, you're probably not thinking that, because I usually chop up the clips anyway. But anyway, like, this is really early finish for me. I didn't do much. My brain's just really not with it. The headache I got this morning, I think, is turning into a migraine. Well, I think it is a migraine because my eyes are really sensitive to light today, so a lot of those exercises you saw, my eyes were shut for. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go home and sleep it off, maybe not even going to work, so that's gonna suck. This is what I mean about training smart. If you watched the video yesterday, if you didn't, go check it out. It's all about training smart and knowing when, okay, giving it your shot, you still turn up and go, but if it's not working or there's something that's not right, don't continue, because it's just gonna either fuck you up or you're not gonna get the best benefit out of it. I still feel quite pumped up, and funnily enough, when I was in there, my head wasn't sore, my eyes were just sensitive, because I think the adrenaline was running around and stuff. And now that I got out, it's getting sore again. So that's the thing. But while I was in there, I also thought about my calories and stuff. It's a constant thing. I think about it all the time. Now, I said yesterday that I'm not going to count my carbs until the end of the shred. And then I realised that first of all made no sense, because that's essentially a bulk. Second of all, that's a dangerous road to go down, because there's the moment you're not counting carbs, there's the moment you're not counting your calories, regardless of if you say you're going to stay within them. So what I'm going to do is, instead of not counting carbs, I'm not going to update my macros weekly. I'm going to update them. No, I'm not going to update them daily. I'm going to update them weekly. So the macros I'm going to be using for this week were the 170 ones that I weighed in on Monday. I'm going to weigh in on Sunday, see what my weight is then, use those for the week and go from there, so that my progression will be a bit slower. I say progression, but progress is going in the right direction. But you know what I mean, my weight loss is a lot slower, and I feel that will benefit me in the long run. It will also mean that I start getting on track, because that's what I plan on doing with my bulking season, is updating my macros weekly rather than daily. And the reason for that is, with a bulk, if you update them daily, there are going to be days when they're higher and lower, and they fluctuate a lot. And with a shred, that's good, because you can drop them lower and lower, especially when you have like a day where you're a little bit more starved. You can drop them lower, and your progression will be a bit faster. But with the bulk, you really want slow progression. Now, people think, oh, I want to put on as much mass, but the likelihood is that you're not going to put on more than 1 to 2 pounds of actual muscle a month. So if you've gone from, unless you're having like a refeed where your muscles are going from a really low carb starved state, you're probably not going to put on that much mass in the first couple of weeks. So that's something you need to be careful of. So if you are just starting a bulk, or you had a week's bulk and you put on like a load of weight, and then you tried exactly the same again and you put on a load of weight again, the likelihood is that's just fat. That's not refeeding. I give it maybe 1 or 2 weeks that you can possibly go maybe up 5 to 10 pounds maybe, and that's if you're really damn starved. That's not scientific background, that's just what I've just experienced through my time. I did it last year when I came out my bulk. I was like, I'm just gonna have a week where I don't count, I don't need to count because I'm bulking, and it was a dirty bulk. And for the first month or so I looked shredded still, I looked fucking good, but then I started eating more because my stomach was expanding and I just got fat. So, and that led me to the shred again this year. But if I'm doing it right, if I do it correctly, I won't have to shred again next year, because I'll be in a lean state and I'll just be pretty ripped, just bigger. And your body fat's the same percentage and you got a higher muscle mass, you're gonna look leaner. But anyway, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna sleep this off, and hopefully make it into work, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens with that. And then later on, when I get in from work or cure my migraine, whatever, I'll then start talking about the cardio, because that's something that I really want to talk about. We had an argument in the group chat yesterday about it. It's been bugging me ever since, and I just want to tell you guys how it is, cut out all the bullshit, the pros and the cons. Some of you might find some of the cons pros and vice versa, but I'm just going to tell you the facts that I know, and cut out a lot of the bullshit that people are doing for no fucking reason. And it irritates me, because it works for them, because they're at such a state where they are needing, like, anything is going to do something for them, and they think it's the be all and end of everything. But anyway, I'm going to get into that later on, and I'll speak to you guys then. So guys, I finally recovered from my migraine, and yeah, I did take the day off work today. It's about 5:30, 6 o'clock now, so I've basically been in bed all day, and that's basically my plan, and I'm saying basically a lot again. So I'm going to keep this quite quick, quite short, a bit quiet as well, just simply because I'm still a little bit tender around the edges, but I need to get it done for you guys. So basically, the topic of today is, do you need cardio to lose weight? No, that is the answer. You do not need cardio to lose weight. The most important thing in the whole losing weight side of things is your diet. Nothing to do whether you run 300 miles or you bench press 700 kilos or whatever. Nothing to do with that. It's all to do with your diet. Yes, the other things speed up the process. They do. But it's whether you're losing the right kind of weight and how quickly you're doing so. Now let me touch on that a little bit. So, your first and foremost priority is your diet, making sure that you're under the certain amount of calories, sticking to your macronutrients, and you're going to lose weight even if you do nothing. Obviously not preferred. Now your second main priority in this is weights. So for guy, girl, whatever, this is your priority. Lots of women are afraid to go in the weight room, when really it's going to get them what they want, because thank God society has changed, that we, a couple of years ago, the really slight skinny women were preferred, with a thigh gap of like a foot long and stuff like that. And I've never found that attractive, like having an overly skinny woman that wants to be overly skinny and keeps getting skinnier. I'd never found that sort of attractive at all. Obviously there's a fine line between being lean and being skinny, and I to and fro from it now and again. I have done this shred, but anyway, that's a different story. But if you are having the right amount of carbohydrates, having the right amount of protein, and keeping your fats low, and lifting weights, as a woman, as a guy, you're gonna make, I don't want to use the word, the T word, the toned word, I don't like it. So you're gonna put on, the weight that you've already got is gonna turn into the right kind of weight. So even as you're losing, there's still some that's gonna be used up. So for example, Tank is in a very good position at the moment. He's losing weight, he's getting stronger, and because he's really quite big, and he was a lot bigger, like a lot bigger for a very long time, his body and joints are not only used to carrying that amount of weight around, muscles developed underneath it through just everyday usage, because it is harder to do. Your day is harder with a lot more weight on you. So now what he's doing is he's shredding the weight off, he's losing weight. He's also putting on muscle mass. Now this is the time where he needs to, I don't mean ease up, I don't mean slow down. I mean lose the weight in the right way. And this would be my advice to him if he was to come and ask for it, is cardio, cut it out until the end of your workout. Do not do much cardio, do about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I'm not saying ever, I would never say ever completely cut out cardio unless you're working out in the afternoon or something, you're working out at night and you haven't eaten much that day and you're on a bulk. Then don't bother with cardio, because it's not going to do you any favours. Cardio will keep your heart moving and get blood flowing around the body and things. It will also cool you down if you do it at the end of a workout and do it from a high intensity to a low intensity. Vice versa, if you're doing it at the beginning, doing it from a low intensity to a high intensity, it will get you warmed up. That's basically that. However, it is gonna, if you are tracking your macros and your calories correctly and you're doing it to the point, and you're not, even if you are quite overweight, you're going to lose probably a little bit of muscle mass than you would have the potential to have. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a lot, but it can be. If say 1 year you lose a lot of weight, so you go from like 20 stone to down to like, I don't know, 13, 14. Next time you're going to rely on that cardio, because that's how you lost the weight last time. So next time you want to go down to the 12, 11 stone mark to be shredded, you're going to rely on cardio, and that's going to lose a lot of muscle mass. So if you just focus on your diet better, cut the cardio down to maybe 15-20 minutes, hit the weights harder, you'll have more energy to hit the weights, you're going to put more muscle mass on underneath the fat, so you will look better when you do shred down. Also, it's not only going to mean that you look better, it's going to mean you have to do less, because underneath, instead of having a really slight frame with all this mounting of fat around it, you're going to have a really ripped frame underneath with just a bit of coating. So when you take away the coating, you're going to have a ripped frame. And that's going to mean that a bulking season is not going to be as important. It's still going to be fun because you get to eat more and put on weight and see your body grow, but it's not going to be as important, and you're not going to turn out like me where I'm like, actually I'm really underweight, I don't want to be this skinny, I need to put on weight before I can get that skinny, if that makes sense. So before I get down to the 10 and below percent body fats, which was my original goal, I've realised that getting to that state means that I look really out of proportion, I look really gangly and don't look good. Whereas if you're really fat, you're going down and down and down, but doing it slowly, whilst using the fat that you've already stored as a resource to change into muscle, instead of just purely shredding it off. So maybe doing like a bit of both, you're going to have a better result at the end than you would as if you just went kaboom, kaboom, straight from one to the other. Because it is possible to lose a lot of weight. A personal trainer that works in my gym, he lost a whole person, like, in weight. He was 25 plus stone and now he's like 13. So it is possible to lose a load of weight, and that was in 1 year. So it is possible to do that, and he's strong as shit because he did it the right way. Admittedly, he did a lot of cardio with it. I reckon he'd be a lot stronger if he hadn't done cardio with it, but then he wouldn't have got the results as quickly. Maybe he would weigh a little bit more. I don't also think that he relies on the cardio too much, and that if he was to get really shredded, he would go down to, his strength would suffer a lot, because he would be using cardio as a real factor in that. And as much as that doesn't matter about how much you lift, it does mentally. To break through that barrier where you go, actually, do you know what, I don't care if I'm picking up 6 kilo dumbbells instead of the 16s that I can do. My form's great, I'm doing higher reps, and it feels better to do the 6 kilos than the 16s. It does take a lot mentally to do that, especially as a male with loads of guys in the gym that have seen you do the 16s before. They think you're bitching out, and really actually your form's just a lot better. For example, this morning I did seated lateral raises like that, I started off with 4 kilo dumbbells and did 20 reps, and that burned. So what does that have to tell you? But anyway, that's a little bit on the pros and cons of cardio. The pros, I didn't actually speak about that much. The pros is if you have overeaten or something like that, or you're finishing off your day and you're on the border of your calories and you're like, well, I went over a little bit, maybe by like 1 gram or something. By doing cardio, it's going to ensure that you're definitely in more of a deficit than you expected. It's just the amount of deficit. A deficit is good to an extent. When it starts eating into the muscle is when you're going to start losing size as well as fat. And men and women both do not want that. For a woman to grow, to get to the extent of where they look jacked, and all these people that are on stage, that is steroids. All those women are on steroids. It is almost impossible. If it was that easy, you would go into a weight room, lift a few weights, drink 1 protein shake, and then turn out looking like Schwarzenegger. It's not that easy, mainly for women. I tell you what, for one perfect example, is go check out Nikki Blackketter. She's a Gymshark athlete. She lifts heavy weight for women. Or you've got like you've got some serious people, like there's a few CrossFitters that lift heavy weight as well. Have a look on supertraining.tv and you'll see that they're not mahoosive. They're big, not like big for women, but they still look good. Like, they're still attractive, but they lift heavy weight, do lots of eat lots of protein. It's a common misconception. So ladies, don't get afraid of that. Don't think you have to stick to veggies and carbs and whatever and stay away from protein because it's going to make you look jacked and tan. And really, you're wrong. It's going to be improve your squat form. It's going to give you that peach. It's going to give you the hourglass, because the waist is going to come in, the back's going to come out a little bit, not very much, because you don't have enough testosterone for it to just completely crab shell. What I mean by crab shell is so it's going to come out making your waist look tinier, your hips are going to come out making your waist look tinier, your quads are going to come out meaning your waist looks tinier, and it's going to give you really nice defined legs. Especially women, honestly, get in that weight room. The guys that are in the weight room will not go, get out my damn weight room. They're going to be like, holy crap, she's in the weight room, let's marry her. So anyway, that's a little thing on cardio. So remember, no cardio and salads, protein and squats. Everyone's going to be happy. Speaking of squats, I'm doing legs tomorrow morning, so I'll speak to you guys then. I hope you had a great day.